Shalom, 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 angelics and others. I know it's been a while, and I really hadn't planned to do this video this morning. I wanted to wait into next week. However, information has been coming out that I think now is the time to put this video out. So I'm not gonna. It's not gonna be a long video. It's just some information that I want to help you guys get a better picture of where we are. I'm still hearing a lot of people telling us who we are, that we're Atlanteans and we're this and we're that. Everybody here is not an Atlantean. All melanated people are not Atlanteans. Okay? Before the root race of Atlantia, which was of Atlantis, which was the fourth root race, it was the Lumerians. Okay? After that, other races came, and then we moved from um, the era of Genesis to Genesis. Currently, we are still in the creation period. Okay, a lot of people, they've been talking about um, rebirth. Um, what's the word I'm looking for? Reincarnation. That's the word I wanted. But we haven't really and fully understood the reincarnation concept. And it's because we're still within the creation period. Okay? When Genesis occurred and there was Adam and Eve, all of that was symbolic based on things that had happened. We are the microcosm of the macrocosm. And if you can look at the macrocosm as a tree that has multiple branches and that goes up all over the place, and some branches die off, some grow, produce more branches. That is the symbology of the macrocosm. Well, look at the microcosm. The microcosm is a tree within itself. It was an outgrowth of one of the branches from the macrocosmic tree. Okay. And this is who we are. In the biblical context, people were trees. Okay. So out of the tree, the Adamic tree, and the Edom tree was an outgrowth of people, of other trees. So in the Garden of Eden, there were two trees. There was a tree that um, Adam was told not to eat from. They've been lying about the Genesis story. Okay, there were two trees in the Garden of Eden, two people, the tree of knowledge of good and evil and the tree of life. Now, Adam was told not to eat from the tree of life, not to take knowledge from that tree. But he did. And people, it's taken a long time to come to this earth, to come to this knowledge. But I can't tell people what to do or what not to do. You have to take this knowledge and you have to do with it what you will and do your own research. But a lot of the research that we're doing is to add to what is given to us, because what I've been given Some came from a book, but most of it did not. Okay? So, which is the reason that we are our own separate trees, and we have to get our information from different places, but we have to get it on our own. We cannot allow any man or another tree to define who we are, to tell us what we are. We did that when, under the rulership of the others, the other nations, the Gentiles. We did that already. Now there are melanated people who look like us that still want to push this narrative of telling us who we are. You must find out within yourself who you are. Let no one define you. Find out who you are within yourself, because you have to know thyself. Okay? So within the garden, there were two trees. There were many trees, but the one tree was the tree of knowledge of good and evil and the tree of life. Adam was told not to eat from the tree of life, but he did. And by this, what has been happening is the other nations have been uprooting the trees of life, the trees that produce fruit. See, male trees don't produce any fruit, okay? Feminine trees produce fruit. They don't need male trees in order to produce fruit. Because they're feminine, they can produce on their own. This is the way that the garden was. This is what Genesis was until Genesis, when man started creating or manifesting his own wishes. So they started taking the trees and putting other trees with them to create different fruit. The same way as man and woman was doing. They were creating different fruit. They were manifesting with other trees, so to speak, other groups of people to create different fruit that was inorganic. The tree of life is an organic tree. The tree of knowledge of good and evil is an inorganic tree. So the inorganic tree has been mixing with the organic tree to produce inorganic fruit. Okay, because the only way that an inorganic tree can produce an organic fruit is you have to go back to Genesis 3:15, where the divine put enmity between the seed or the fruit of Eve, and the fruit of Adam. When Genesis 3:15 has always been about the two seeds of Genesis. This is what it was about. It was about the seed being put between, the enmity being put between the seed of Eve, and the seed of Adam, the Adamic seed. The Eve seed is the seed of life. The Adamic seed is the seed of good and evil, the seed of manifestation. The Eve seed is the seed of interpretation, the seed of, it's the ancient seed, the seed of life, the seed of growth. So when we come to the scripture stating that man was to subdue the earth, that was the Adamic seed. Adam, his seed, subdue the earth, okay? Even the seed of life, the Eve seed. This is the reason that women, melanated women, have been repressed, have been shut up on all levels, okay? Because, and I know people don't want to hear this, I didn't want to believe it. The Adamic seed is the seed of knowledge of good and evil. It is the snake that was in the Garden of Eden. When we are told in the scripture that the mark of a man is 666, it was true. That is the carbon being. Now, I'm not asking anyone to take my word for anything that I'm saying. I'm just telling you, and I'm putting it out here. I didn't want to do this, but I must. When we were told that the earth was given into the hand of the wicked, it was given into the hands of the carbon beings, the melanated men who have been behind the scenes pushing everything this entire time. I told you guys in my last video that it was never about racism. This was a created illusion to cause conflict, to prevent people from seeing the truth. You don't have to see the truth because I said it. You're going to see it one way or the other without anything that I ever say. The serpent seed is 666. It's the carbonated being. It's the carbon man. These issues have been between the man and the woman. People keep saying, you know, why can't we all come together, blah, 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 because there is enmity between the carbon beings, between the man and the woman, between the seed of life and the seed of good and evil. This is we are in a creation period. The Eve seed was always the seed of life because she is the seed of life. But the Adamic seed is not the seed of life. It's the seed that has to gain knowledge and balance itself between good and evil, which is Libra. Libra is the balancing scale. The higher man is Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, Virgo. Okay? That enmity is supposed to be 6. That enmity between them was Libra. And because before Virgo and Scorpio were one, but because of the Adamic seed. Enmity was placed there to separate life from death, evil, wickedness. So the other nations, to include the melanated man, the carbonated man, have been manifesting their will upon the earth during this creation period, which is the reason that the water has gone bad. Water is inorganic. It's the reason that all of the food has been tainted because they have been using the seeds of life, the seed of the Adamic seed, to manifest their will upon the Eve seed, the seed of life. So they have been mixing things together that should not have been created to make inorganic beings. But this cycle is coming to an end. But before that happens, all of this ancient knowledge that is being brought out must come forward. If you haven't heard the last video of Adir Bey, go listen to his last video. It was very good. He's talking about some of these things, and he's telling you about the divine feminine. Because when the divine feminine energy comes upon the earth, it will be in control. It will be in control. I saw a video yesterday. I think it was Adir Bey's video that showed that when that divine feminine energy comes on board, there's no shutting it down. And he's right. Because based on the knowledge that I have, when that energy is unleashed, there's no turning back, because that is going to be the energy that will be on the earth, the divine feminine energy. There will be no more battles or enmity between the seeds, the manifested trees. So if you haven't heard his video, listen to it. It has very good knowledge. I love the brother. Sometimes the brother is difficult to listen to, at some points, but the knowledge is there, and you have to be able to work your way through anybody's video that you listen to, because the spirit that they're putting in is the spirit that they've been given. And so you have to be able to work your way through anyone's video, listen to it, gain the knowledge, because that video was powerful. And he is connected to the divine feminine energy, the earthly mother. I'm going to come back and bring another video, because I found some information yesterday and I really want to share it. And it's about the earthly mother, and it's the reason, that she's dealing so heavily with the brother, because that energy is powerful. So when we talk about karma, think of yourself as a tree, okay, with many branches. And throughout incarnations, those branches have been sprouting new branches. The leaves are the people that you come in contact with, okay? Either those leaves are going to die at some point out in your life, move on, or they're going to branch their own trees. And so the karma comes in regarding what you've left with that leaf. You either cause life to move forward in that leaf to create another tree or you left it behind because the carbon is no longer green, it's brown. Okay? So your life, what you put out in this life, in this life, this creation period, is what's going to come back to you. It's going to be either rooted in you or replaced by something new. So move forward in this life thinking of yourself as a tree, that you are, especially the women, you want your tree of life to sprout new branches, new leaves. Some are going to turn brown, some are going to stay green. The carbon is going to be removed when um, when it's not good energy. Okay, so ladies, think of yourselves as trees. You're sprouting energy. You are the tree of life. It's the reason that these other nations have suppressed the divine feminine energy, because they were in the creation period there to manifest their will upon the earth. And they've done that. They've manifested their will. But now there are men who possess that divine feminine energy, who love the divine feminine life. And so when everything moves forward in this life, continues to move forward, just look at the carbon, look at the beings you're surrounded by, the carbon, because the energy that is being discussed in Genesis 3:15, and when the Hamashiach plucked out the tree, that fig tree, this is the reason the carbon wasn't good. It had died and withered away because it wasn't producing, it could not produce fruit. Okay? So I just wanted to bring this to you. I have the knowledge. I didn't want to. This is the first video that I've done this way. Well, I'm going to submit one page with this video, and you guys, can read it and get the understanding. But I'm hoping that you get it, why the Celts and the Druids were so into the different types of trees. Okay, so they bear different fruits. All trees of life bear different fruit because that energy, that masculine energy, has been manifested within that tree to make that tree, to subdue that tree to its will, to produce a different type of fruit. Okay, this is what's happening when man is manifesting itself within the tree of life. It's causing it to create inorganic fruit. Okay, so I'm going to leave it there. And peace be unto you, divine angelics.